that we solve Russia, Ukraine, and we get that peace deal, because it should happen. It's the war that the president is right, that should have never happened. I think we get that solved. Hopefully, that'll be a big moment. I think if we expand the Abraham peace accords, if we get a peace, a lasting peace in Gaza, if we figure out long-term peace in the Middle East, if we normalize with the state of Israel, I think that will be a crowning achievement. And then I think your father-in-law ought to get what he deserved the last time around. He ought to get the Nobel Peace Prize, but not just for one effort, for all of the effort. That's how important and relevant it is.
There's nothing he wants more than to be a part of peace agreements, stopping wars, preventing wars, ending wars. It's not his war. He didn't start this war. It didn't happen. It never would have happened had he been president, but it did. He inherits it, and he's done everything possible to bring it to an end. I think he's growing increasingly frustrated that despite having very good interactions with Vladimir Putin and phone calls, it never leads to anything. So the time has come for some action here, and I think the president has made that abundantly clear. He's losing his patience. He's losing his willingness to continue to wait for the Russian side to do something here to bring an end to this war that wasn't his war, but he wants to see it come to an end.
This is my video update on this Sunday afternoon, July the 27th. Coming to you from Tbilisi, Georgia. Let's talk about some news. And let's start things off on this very hot Sunday afternoon here in Georgia with the news that we have a ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand. This was announced by U.S. President Trump. He said that he spoke to both countries, the leaders of both countries, and he announced the ceasefire agreement on Truth Social. And Cambodia has come out with a statement. The government of Cambodia has said that there is a ceasefire, and the government of Thailand has also come out with a statement and said that there is a ceasefire. So there's a ceasefire, which is good news. I don't know if Trump brokered it or not, but he says he brokered the ceasefire. Cambodia, I believe, says that Trump also mediated the ceasefire. So it looks like Trump got a deal for both countries to stop fighting. Trump said that once they work out the details of the ceasefire and get to some sort of an extended peace and stability, then they can begin to negotiate with the United States on trade deals. So that is the big update from U.S. President Trump and from the clash between Cambodia and Thailand. Oh man. All right, let's walk. Let's walk. Let's do it. Let's do it. And let's talk about the interview from Fox News. Lara Trump, Trump's daughter-in-law, who has interviewed Witoff and Rubio. So who should we start off with? Should we start off with Witoff first or Rubio? Let's start off with Witoff. So Witoff said in this interview with Lara Trump that the talks with Hamas, the stalled talks with Hamas, have started up again. He said that they are very close to some sort of a Gaza deal. Did not get into any of the specifics, but that was what Witoff said. The talks, well, the U.S. pulled out of the talks just a couple of days ago. And now Witoff is saying that the talks seem to be back on. He also said that Trump would like to get a peace in Ukraine. He would also like to get a peace in Gaza, in the Middle East. And he would like to get all of this done by the end of his term, by 2024. 29. And Witoff said, if he does this, and he gets this big peace deal in Ukraine with Russia and in the Middle East, extending the Abraham Accords. Witoff said that the Abraham Accords could include up to 10 countries. If Trump manages to achieve this, then he should get the Nobel Peace Prize, right? By 2029. So he said that as well, Witoff. And Rubio, let's talk about Rubio and what he said to Lara Trump. Rubio also confirmed that Witoff is close to some sort of a deal in the Middle East and in Gaza. Interesting that you have Fox interviewing the Secretary of State and Marco Rubio on the same day. Da-da. Yeah. Let's see. Rubio. Yeah, Rubio confirmed that Witoff is close to a peace deal or some sort of a negotiated settlement in Gaza with Hamas. And then he went off on Putin and Russia. Then Rubio went off on Putin and Russia and China, because it's all China's fault. That's right. Rubio said that Trump, more than anything, wants to get peace between Ukraine and Russia. And he said that Trump is getting frustrated. He is getting frustrated at the fact that he just can't get Putin to agree to some sort of a ceasefire. Yep. It's all Russia's fault. They won't agree to Minsk 3. Damn it, Russia. Just agree to Minsk 3, to the Kellogg ceasefire plan, and stop frustrating Trump. What else? He blamed it on China, too. Rubio said that there would be no way for Russia to be fighting this conflict, hinting that Russia was winning this conflict without China. So it's all China's fault. Put the blame on China, right? Because without China, Russia would have been defeated. That is basically what Rubio was getting at. Let me see if I have some quotes here from Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. Marco Rubio. Let's see here. Do I have any quotes bookmarked? Yes, I do. Rubio said Trump is eager to secure a peace deal and end the war he inherited from the Biden administration, and described the president's growing frustration with Russian President Putin. Despite having very good interactions with Putin and phone calls, it never leads to anything, Rubio said. So the time has come for some action. Rubio also acknowledged in the Fox News interview China's growing role in prolonging the war, accusing Beijing of propping up Moscow's economy and military efforts. China is giving Russia as much aid as they can get away with without being discovered, Rubio said. There's no way Putin could have sustained this war without Chinese support, particularly buying his oil. So China is giving Russia as much aid as they can without getting caught, according to Rubio. But Rubio, you caught them, man. You caught them. Busted. China busted. Giving aid to Putin's war machine, while the entire collective West funds this proxy war against Russia. Yeah, Trump is frustrated, man. I just don't understand it. Marco, I just don't understand it. Why will Putin not agree to a ceasefire? Just don't get it. I mean, we're the neutral mediators in all of this. We're neutral, man. So what if we're giving Ukraine weapons and money and intel? and our three-letter agencies are helping them run sabotage operations. Just don't get why Putin won't agree to our neutral mediation, Marco. What should I do? Well, Mr. President, enough words. It's time for action. Anyway, all right. So that's what Rubio said to Lara Trump. Blame it on China. Trump is frustrated. The neutral mediator, United States, is frustrated with Putin. Steve Witkoff says there's a deal in the making in the Middle East, a big deal. And let's get that Nobel Peace Prize to Trump in 2029. I've just summarized the Fox News interview of Marco Rubio and Steve Witkoff for everybody. I couldn't do a Trump voice. I can't do the Trump voice. I'll work on it. Maybe I can get a Trump voice, but I don't know. I got to give it some time. I think a lot of people have a much better Trump voice than I could come up with. Anyway, let's move on. The New York Times is reporting that the European Union is blocking money to Ukraine. Yeah, man. They are blocking $1.7 billion to the Zelensky regime. EU cuts aid to Ukraine over corruption concerns. The $1.7 billion reduction capped a tough week for President Zelensky as he deals with Ukraine's governance issues. Yeah. Zelensky banned the anti-corruption agency, sending a message to Ursula and to Lindsey Graham, the neocons, saying, we've got tools. I'm taking over the money flow. And Ursula has now fired back at Zelensky, cutting off $1.7 billion in EU aid, telling Zelensky, we've got tools. You've got tools. We've got tools. And tatters. We've got tools and tatters. So this, if I'm not mistaken, is the Parliament building where the big protests were taking place many months ago. And from what I understand, every evening you have smaller protests. Lots of EU flags everywhere. Everywhere I turn, I see EU flags. There's a sign up there which says, sanctions, Putin's puppet, Ivanishvili and his pro-Russian government, man. Everyone's a Putin puppet, man. All right, so this is where the protests went down. I guess this is the office building that former President Zurabichvili did not want to vacate. I don't know what building that is, but you have another EU flag. All right. Very interesting. So, what was I saying? Yeah, the EU. See, I was talking about the EU, and we've got the EU protests. Yeah, they're not going to give Ukraine the $1.7 billion from the $50 billion that they had allocated to the Ukraine in non-military aid. So, So this is not for weapons. This money is to keep the Zelensky government afloat, to keep the economy running, to pay salaries, 10% for the big guy. And now they're holding it back because of the whole NABU anti-corruption thing. You see, it's all about the money. It's all about who controls the flow of the money. That's what the whole anti-corruption thing was all about. Zelensky made a very ill-judged power grab to seize control of the funds and to send a message to the collective West to keep the money flowing or else, and he miscalculated. Trust is gone. You see, the globalists, the EU neocon globalists, they thought that Zelensky was one of their guys, one of their puppets that they could trust to make sure that whatever money flowed into Ukraine, he would take care of it. And then he got greedy. He got greedy, and now the trust is gone. So I imagine that Ursula will eventually greenlight the 1.6 billion. But the EU is sending a message to Zelensky to not screw around. And who knows, maybe this is their final warning to the Green Goblin. Next time, we're not going to let you stay in power next time you try to mess around with our cash. So that's the story from the NYT. And we move on to a quick update on Trump in Scotland, playing golf, hanging out in Scotland, US President Trump. And I believe tomorrow he will be meeting with the great 008, Keir Starmer, the most boring man in politics, Sir Keir 008 Starmer, license to bore you. He will be meeting with Trump, and the Telegraph is saying that he is going to bring up the subject of Gaza with Trump. Keir Starmer under a lot of pressure to follow in Macron's footsteps and recognize a Palestinian state. So he is going to discuss this with Trump. Trump brushed off Macron's statements from the other day, said that they carry no weight, where Macron said that in September he will recognize Palestine. Of course, with Macron, he's always a flippin' and a floppin', so don't believe it until it's done. But anyway, they're going to discuss Gaza, and they're also going to discuss, take a guess. Yeah, Project Ukraine, man, of course. Starmer's going to talk about more money and more weapons to the Zelensky regime. He's going to try to convince Trump to send more money and more weapons to the Zelensky regime. Oh my God. So Starmer's going to talk about Project Ukraine to Trump. Then Trump's going to meet with Ursula, and she's going to talk about Project Ukraine to Trump. And you know what that means? That means we're going to get all kinds of posts and mean tweets, mean Truth Social posts about Russia and Putin coming from Trump over the next couple of days. All right, buckle up for some Trump frustration and anger towards Russia after he speaks with Starmer and Ursula. I don't know why he even bothers with Starmer, right? Starmer's team, or people in Starmer's cabinet during the elections, they were actively campaigning for Kamala Harris, man. I mean, they sent people to Michigan to help Kamala Harris win the elections, and Trump is still messing around with Keir Starmer. By the way, Trump put out a post on Truth Social hinting that he's gonna possibly, maybe, probably also go after Kamala Harris. That's right. He's trying his best to distract away from Epstein. Oh man, just starts naming names, man, until one of the names does the trick and distracts everyone away from the Epstein debacle. Obama, Hillary, Kamala. Who's it going to be that's going to finally distract everyone away from Epstein? He hasn't named Biden yet. Isn't that interesting? No word about Biden. Anyway, that's the update there. And let's do a couple more stories, and we'll wrap this Sunday video up. Very casual Sunday video. Orban, he did an interview the other day, and Orban, he is saying that he will not approve the 1.7 trillion mega budget from the EU, from Ursula, from the EU, for two reasons. Reason number one is, you know what? Someone told me there's a good cafe right around here with good Wi-Fi, so I can upload this video when I'm done recording. Actually, I think it's on the other side, so let's make our way over. So yeah, the first reason that he's not going to approve the EU budget is because of the money that the EU owes Hungary. They owe Hungary something like 25 billion, and they're holding it back because they want to put strain and pressure on the Hungarian economy, which would eventually lead to the removal of Orban. That's how democracy works in the European Union. So Orban is saying, I am not going to vote for this budget until we get our money back. And reason number two is Project Ukraine. Orban is saying that the EU budget is just basically about giving money to Project Ukraine. Peter Siarto, he gave an interview the other day, and he said that the EU budget is basically a transfer of funds from the EU citizens that would go to agriculture, right, to farmers and to food, and they're going to take that money away from food, and they're going to give it to the Zelensky regime. So Peter Siarto said that this is not right, and that Hungary will not approve the mega budget from the European Union, 1.7 trillion. Man, Zelensky is he is waiting. Approve that budget, Podolyak, 1.7 trillion. How many homes can we buy with 1.7 trillion, Podolyak? A lot of homes, Mr. President, a lot of homes. Thousands of homes. Oh boy. So we had the fires in Limassol last week, horrific fires. Some of the biggest summer fires Cyprus has ever had in the suburbs of Limassol. And I don't know what the situation is like. When I get back to Cyprus, I'll have a better understanding of what happened. But the problem that the government is running into is it looks like they were very poorly prepared for these fires, even though they were putting out statements during the beginning of the summer, because fires are very common in Cyprus and in Greece and in Turkey. Actually, I believe there is a summer fire going on right now in Turkey as well. Very common that we have fires almost every summer, it seems, or every other summer. But this summer, the Cyprus government said that they are absolutely prepared for any fires. They're better prepared than any government has ever been. And you had these devastating fires happen. So it's not looking good for the government of Cyprus, the way they handled these fires. But we'll see. I'll get a better understanding when I go back to Cyprus and to Limassol. So Should we do a clown world, guys? Oh, here's one more story. Check it out. Direct flights from Russia to North Korea. Russia begins operating the first direct passenger flight from Moscow to Pyongyang today using a Boeing 777-200ER aircraft with a capacity of 440 passengers. Tickets sold out within 2 hours of being listed on the Russian company website. Why am I standing in the hot sun? Melting, man. I'm melting. Get me to some AC. Okay. I think that's where I want to go. That cafe right there. So let's wrap up the video. Couple clown worlds, huh? The cardboard revolution protests. Did you guys see some of the signs? Pretty funny stuff. Yermach and Mini-Me, Zelensky. Yermach and Mini-Me. A lot of people are angry with Yermach. A lot of analysts are saying that the protests, what they eventually want is they want Yermach gone. They feel that he's been given way too much power, and he's the guy that has to go. Not even Zelensky. Yermach has to go. So there you have Yermach and Mini-Me Zelensky. That's a pretty accurate cardboard portrayal of the power structure in Kiev, I would say. My Mini-Me. He's my Mini-Me. Yermach. Let's go work out. Let's go watch a movie. Show me the money. We can quote some lines, some movie lines. Yermach, my buddy. Poor Podolyak. Poor Podolyak, man. Discarded. Discarded and forgotten Podolyak. Anyway, here's a good one. This is a really good one. There are some reports, I can't confirm this, but it's clown world. We play it fast and loose. There are some reports which claim that when Serbian President Vucic was in Moscow for the May 9th, that he was hanging out with Xi Jinping, and Xi Jinping asked Vucic, what do you want? I will give you whatever you want. You name it, I will give it to you. And so here you have the leader of China, one of the most powerful countries, the largest economy, the biggest manufacturer in the entire world, right? You have the leader telling you, you name it, I will give it to you, Vucic. What do you want? I will give it to you. And the reports claim that Vucic said, you have some factories, perhaps? Oh my God. Let me get you the quote. He told me, name what you want. You will get everything you ask for. Oh, this is coming from Vucic himself, I guess. Okay. He told me, name what you want. You will get everything you asked for. Shocked. I replied, if possible, some factory, Vucic said. And you have this meme over here. Check out this meme. You all got any more of those factories? I'll give you anything you want. You name it. I will give you anything you want. What do you want? Oh, God, Xi Jinping, leader of China, got a factory or something? Oh, man. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. I will wrap it up. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch. Dessert, ballet, coffee, and bakery. Open daily from 9 to 9. I'm going to grab coffee, and I'm going to get this video uploaded. Take care.